Hi, my question is how do I learn? And today I wanted to just kind of work through that for myself. How do I learn and what have I learned about that question? Elder Bednar said, through persistent, effective, and diligent work, a person can accumulate knowledge in the form of facts, data, information, and experience. Intelligence, however, can only be gained through obedience. Thus, knowing is a prerequisite to and a foundation for true spiritual intelligence. So we have this idea of, learning is a prerequisite and kind of in combined, learning and being obedient is a prerequisite to being spiritually intelligent. So I really wanted to try to understand that better this week. I have a picture of here of a rock because in my mind there's kind of three different phases of this understanding of learning. There's kind of this phase where we know it and we can share it, and then there's this phase where we really are trying to meditate and kind of work through the ideas and have them really become part of us. And then there's this kind of other idea where we develop layers. And so much like the rock cycle where we have the igneous rock and the sedimentary rocks and the metamorphic rocks, I just felt like they really did a great job of sharing the analogy of how do I learn. As we can see in the rock cycle, there are a lot of times when the cycle will circle back on itself. Like in the case of lithification, then maybe we'll see layers of rocks, lots of strata of rocks, and then they will move back into sedimentary rock as they start to dissolve. And sorry, dissolve is not the right word, but you understand what I'm saying. A sedimentary rock can lithify, become sedimentary rock, and then it will revert back into sedimentation. The same with a metamorphic rock. It can become sedimentary rock. Igneous rocks, they can move into sedimentary rocks, or they can move right over into metamorphic rocks. So we have this kind of circling back on itself. And I feel like Elder Bednar did a lot of that circling back on itself when he was talking about learning. One of the things that I really loved was this idea that he shared with the scriptures, Doctrine and Covenants, section 130, verse 19, and Doctrine and Covenants, section 88, verse 118. I changed it a little bit. He had in the book the arrows pointing from diligence to study and obedience to faith. I wanted to add in also the idea that knowledge, when we gain more knowledge, we do that through diligence. And when we gain more intelligence, we do that through obedience. So knowledge to diligence, diligence to study, and intelligence to obedience, and obedience to faith. So those things are working parallelly, they're working side by side with each other. And I just want to really point that out, that we are physical and we are spiritual beings, and we have to let those two aspects of ourselves work side by side in order to become spiritually intelligent. So the question I have here is, how will obedience to laws help me to become more intelligent? I decided to kind of put it to the test this week, and I have been drinking a lot of caffeine, and I know in section 89 of the Doctrine and Covenants, it talks about how when we keep the word of wisdom, then we can have, wealth, treasures of knowledge. And I just thought oh man, that's really, really what I need. So I decided, okay, Heavenly Father, I'm just going to quit caffeine and go on faith. And, surprisingly, I'm as tired as I was when I was drinking caffeine, and yet I have more concentration. I have the ability to concentrate better. So I believe that when we are obedient to God's laws, then we will be able to have more intelligence. The next question that I had was, how will the step-by-step process of knowing and then understanding increase my learning? In this way, it reminded me a lot of the strata, or the layering of sedimentary rock. You know, it's built line upon line upon line. And when we're understanding that there is a process to learning, where we have to like read it, and then we have to maybe say it, and then we maybe have to write it, and then we can know it. Like there's kind of a process that we have to work through. We can't just see it one time and then know it. We have to make it a part of us. And so that's why I represented this sedimentary rock. I just love the layering in it, and I love this layering idea of knowledge. When we layer our learning, we can know better. So I loved this quote: "A learner needs to exercise agency in righteousness, and thereby invite the truth into the heart, and thereby seek to obtain the spiritual gift of understanding." Again, we see this layering. First, we're exercising agency in righteousness, and then we are inviting truth, and then, then we're seeking to obtain the spiritual gift of understanding. So it's a layered process. The next slide is just this idea of kind of morphing everything that we're learning together. And I really feel like as we, as teachers, try to morph knowledge, morph understanding, morph intelligence into our students, then we'll be able to recognize that they need to get it like a lot of different ways. They need to have kinesthetic learning, and they need to have visual learning, and auditory learning, and reading and writing, and they need to be able to really process it in a lot of different ways. And so as we apply that, with whatever subject we're teaching, then they can really start to get a really solid understanding of what we're trying to teach them. It's not going to be, it's not going to be like sedimentary rock that's kind of soft and easily eroded. It's going to be really hard and solid, more like metamorphic rock. So anyways, that's what I learned this week, and it's been exciting to learn it, and I'm excited to share it with you. So have a good night. Thanks for watching.